week, we gave you some articles where, on this topic about online dating. So I'm going to recap. So we reviewed the article last week where it was talking about those that have found their husband. Found their husband. Let me make sure I got the right information. Yes, remember we shared about the 12 online dating tips from real women. These women really went through this experience, and they met their spouses on the app. So it does work for some people. So we gave you the positive side last week. So we're going to get into the other side of it where it can be almost dangerous. Okay, so let me recap. So on the positive side, according to the article that we shared with you, it says, number one, look for someone who makes it convenient for you. If y'all going out on a date, y'all met the first time, then, hey, make sure that he meets you somewhere close, and it won't be a problem. Then the next one was cut them off. If they not texting you back after y'all done had the first date, he not interested. You don't beg. Don't beg. Okay? There's too many men out there, too many women out there. Number three, kick your type to the curb. So don't be so focused on your type because you could be missing out on something much better. So, like I said, there's a whole variety of different men and women. You ain't got to be stayed in one box and just get your type. Because for your type, the type that you thought wasn't yours can blow your mind. You know what I'm saying? Change your world. Hey, rock your world. I ain't like that. Number four, pay for the site if it has the population you want to date. Okay. When you going to go on the site?
Hold on for a second.
Yeah.
You said rock your world. What does that mean?
What? The tip was don't feel like, I'm just gonna go with my type. Oh, he gotta be tall, he gotta be buff, like that, your type, it's saying it's okay to go away from your type. But I said because there's plenty of men and women out there where you can stretch your horizons and find variety, and I'm making it like a positive for all because you stepped out of your box and went with somebody that wasn't your type, for all they could change your world and they could rock your world. Thank you. Now, is that enough clarification for you?
Yes,
okay.
Ma'am.
All right. All righty then. See, you might have not got it, but I'm sure somebody might be laughing at what I said. Thank you very much.
I thought you was going a little further than I thought, but okay, I understand.
See, I wasn't up. See, look at that. All right, there. Telling our business, listeners.
That's why I was like, what you saying?
I know how to talk on here, man. Okay, pay for the site if it has the population you want. So if you're going to pay for this site, because they do have some free ones. And I'm not saying I know that because I did it. I'm telling you because I researched it. Okay, thank you. Okay, because I don't have time for all that. Okay, pay for the site if it has the population you want to date. So there are free ones and there are ones that you pay for. So if you're going to pay money, pay for the sites you want. Don't just go on all the sites, be paying money, and they ain't got no money. Can't go on a date because you don't spend all your money on dating apps that you really didn't want to be on. So make sure you're on the right one.
DJ, I got another perspective.
I was
just going to say the reason why I think that they were saying that to pay for your site, because sometimes what happens is if you don't pay and it's cheap or it's free, you get what you ask, you get paid for. You know what I'm saying? But 9 times out of 10, you might get something a little bit more quality if you pay for an app. I mean, the services. Because if you do it for free, if you're trying to get something for free, then you might
not get what you want. Yeah, you might not get what you want. Yeah, she said a homeless person.
Yeah.
Hey, well, if they homeless, if they homeless, they get on there, then you might, whoever pick them, might help them get off the street, get them some clothes, or he or she. Okay,
that
let's
might
go
be
on.
true, but then some homeless people have some other issues.
Yes.
So I'm just using it as a figure of speech. It could be anybody for that matter. I'm saying that they don't need a dime, and all they got to do is push a button and sign up, and they don't have to come up with no money. If they have money, then if they even signing up, they probably have a bank account or they have some kind of something where because you got to have some kind of card or something, debit card or something, to connect to pay for it. So I'm just saying, some people are not going to go through it. I just want to use this as an example. I remember we had a picnic. I don't like to say picnic because that makes me think of when the
yes.
We go totally left.
That's a whole other show. That's a whole other show.
I don't want to say picnic because we're not going to say
that's a whole other show.
That slavery thing. So we're not going to say picnic. We had a gathering at the park, and the gathering we decided we was going to have it at the park, and if we have it there, we were like, let's choose the park. So the park we chose was a park that you had to pay for parking. You had to pay to come in. You had to pay to get into the park. So one of the reasons why we did that, because, we wasn't trying to make it hard for people, but we was. And the reason why is because the gathering was including, like, people that you grew up with. Like it's like a generation of people. And some of them people are like what we said, homeless folk, or some of them are like, I guess it's okay for me to say ignorant, or they may, create the kind of crowd that you don't look like they're rowdy, mischievous, some of those people. And some might be on drugs, some might be winos, things like that. So we would like to cut down on some of the people, some of those people, we like, let's have it here. So if they come, they have to pay. And, they might want to use their money for their wine, rather than pay for parking. Their mentality is totally different. So I'm saying all that to say that the online dating service or app or whatever you were saying, if it's somebody that come to a free app, they may not go to the one that they have to pay for because their mentality is they don't want to spend their money on that. They rather spend their money on toxic stuff. They may not have a bank account because they don't even care about that. So they care about just today. They don't care about tomorrow. They make bills, they break laws, all kind of stuff. So you access more people that may not have their life together on a free one versus the one with you pay. You might have people that have a better head on their shoulder because you got some people that are kind of off that financially they're okay, but mentally they're not. So I'm just saying you kind of weigh out the odds a little bit by paying.
I got you. Thank you for that perspective. You took it to a whole other direction because according to the article, they were just saying make sure that if you're going to spend money, make sure you spend it on the right app that meets your population that you want to meet.
Spend money?
Yes, if you're going to spend money on an app, make sure that you spend it on the population that you want. So, yes, but, your perspective was wonderful. Thank you for sharing. Okay, that's what Tunnel Vision is about, to have two sides and agree to disagree. So I agree with you. So let's continue. I'm just recapping.
Yes,
okay,
I want to say this too. That's just like I don't think you should use Facebook Messenger to try to date people. Look for dates. Okay. I don't think you should look IG, Instagram.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Those type of places, you will get some people. And then the other part is, we didn't even mention this, some people have fake profiles. So it's cheaper and easier to do a fake profile on a free website versus one you got to pay.
Like, and then folks, did y'all hear Ms. Vicky? Okay, for all you folks that want to date on Facebook and Instagram, y'all email Ms. Vicky, okay? Thank you. Okay. All right. Because she was like, she ain't finna do all that. Okay, but, okay. I said email Miss Vicky. I guess they have to come to me too.
Can you say that statement again? What you just offered me? You offered me up for what?
I said for all those. I didn't say offer up. I said for all those folks, Miss Vicky was talking about. She don't feel, in her opinion, to be dating is good to be dating on Facebook and Instagram, right? Right. Yeah. Okay. And I'm just saying my normal, when we say certain things, I'm saying, how we say don't be emailing DJ Speaker, don't be emailing Ms. Vicky. So I said, for all those folks out there that may be dating and having a wonderful time on Facebook and dating on Instagram, you guys email Ms. Vicky, okay, not DJ Dika. Okay, but then I said, oh, snap, we don't have a separate email. So we have one email, and it goes to both of us. So I guess I have to be bothered too. Oh my goodness!
Actually, on the serious side, on the
yes.
other side, that are in toxic relationships or domestic violence, we are open to you contacting us, because sometimes you do fall into them situations where you end up meeting somebody on one of them free sites, like I just mentioned, Facebook or Instagram, and you end up meeting a whole fool. So
we're going to talk about that in a minute.
In the whole situation. Yeah.
Yes, so we're going to talk about that in a minute. Just let me finish reviewing. It's just that you're giving commentary. You're giving commentary to all what I'm trying to review. So, you know what, listeners, maybe when we talked about this last week, Miss Vicky wasn't able to share, so she make it up for it today. Okay, so then number 5 was put your apps down while you're on a date with someone else. If you're dating someone, don't be on your phone looking at another app, because if you're going to look at the app, they will text you with info. That's rude. Okay.
Yeah, you shouldn't have a phone anyway. People have so minimized social. They have minimum of social skills. Why do you have your phone out and you on your phone and you're on a date? Are you serious? It's like, so unless if you communicate through the phone. But that's even kind of
apparently
strange.
The date is boring.
I know you got to get that, but that's the only way I can see it is if you're sitting there sending each other messages because you're being creative at the table. But if you're sitting there in front of somebody, you need to be looking at them, talking to them, or maybe you need to figure out a way to leave the date.
Well, nowadays, what they call it,
you don't want to be there.
Nowadays, that's a whole nother subject matter, how we all into the phones and texting, and nobody wants to communicate face to face.
No, seriously. I went to a wedding reception once. I could not believe it. I was sitting at the table with a bunch of educators, teachers, principals, just all the different ones, and the people that work in the attendance office. Like all these people, because what happened was it was one particular school that a staff member, I think she might have been an assistant principal, was getting married. So the whole staff and friends and their loved ones or whatever came. I'm sitting at the table with at least 10 people. It was a round table. Do you know I was the only one not looking at my phone? And I'm like, I felt awkward because I'm like, I'm looking around, and everybody is looking at their phone. I said, okay, they must be talking to each other and through text or something. You know what I'm saying?
Or they might be talking to somebody else. And that's the culture we live in.
I'm thinking, are they talking to each other across the table, sending messages? Because I don't understand it. And it was men and women.
That's the culture we live in today.
It wasn't just my color either. It was a combination of folks. So it's like it was a diverse situation.
That's the culture we live in. That's the culture we live in nowadays. People don't write letters no more. People barely talk on the phone. That's not
my environment. I'm gonna promote that we socialize in my environment, whoever I'm around. So I'm not accepting that. I'm not accepting.
So listeners, I can't be by my phone with Miss Vicky because she's gonna throw it out the window. Okay.
I can't be with nobody that's on the computer playing games all day long. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have a life doing other things, especially if you have a mate. Not what do they call them? A gamer. I can't be with a gamer.
Miss Vicky, no, she didn't.
We would not work. I'm sorry, I could not do that.
No, she didn't say
and
that.
I'm just saying, they're good
do you not play dominoes?
They're not my match.
Do you not play dominoes? Okay.
I play dominoes, but that's a different type of situation. When I say a gamer, I'm talking about somebody they be playing those video games on the TV screen. It's like they have a control and they do all. I ain't talking about no dominoes, but they got some people that do that kind of stuff all the time too. But some people do it as a like they might be at home by themselves. They're not on a date or they're not kicking it with their spouse. But I'm saying that there are some people that be right at home with their spouse and they sit there and they're on the game like they can't even hardly get up and wash their behind.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
There was a story about that.
Because they so busy gaming. That's what I'm talking about, like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen an article. There was addiction about that. So that is an addiction.
Yeah, we're going to have to do a
Addiction.
show on that.